he would bring in food, and he would talk to me about God, and I would really, in my heart, be rolling my eyes in the back of my head, thinking, man, he talks a lot about God. It's not even Sunday. Like, you know, like he just, and so I'd nod, you know, and it's like
pass the fries.
Any more French I know, horrible.
But he told you something that stuck with you. What did he tell you?
Actually, yeah, he would talk to me about God all the time and said a lot of things that made sense, but I just thought, well, that's really nice for you, but it's great that it works for you, but it's not for me. And the one day he just said, well, you know, you try to kill yourself. You don't even want to live anymore. You don't want to, you know, you don't want your life. And God created you with a plan and a purpose. What do you have to lose by giving God a chance to see what his plan is for you, what he can do for you? And I couldn't even roll my eyes in my heart at that one. Like, I was just stumped. I thought, you know, I'm at rock bottom. I have nowhere to go. I have nothing to lose by giving him a chance if he's real. Because I really didn't think that God was real. And, yeah, so I ended up going back into my hospital room. And
you decided to take God on, didn't you?
I did.
What did you say? Because you didn't know you were praying, but you kind of were.
No, I did. At first, I was just sort of uncomfortable. I was staring at the ceiling, thinking, oh my gosh, am I just talking to the ceiling? Am I talking to God? Is he real? So I just kind of looked up, and I was like, okay, God, if you're real, I pray that you would come into my life and what John said, you know, just come in and live my life for me, live my life through me, because I can't do it. I can't do it, and I don't want to do it. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm desperate. So show me. And I said, like, I heard him talk a lot about Jesus, and so I just said, okay, and Jesus, if you're real and you can come and you can forgive me for all my sin, and then all of a sudden, you know when you, like, people say that before you die, you, like, your whole life flashes before your eyes? Well, for me, it was like every sin I had ever committed flashed before my eyes. And I was like, oh, God, if you could forgive me, if I'm not too far gone, like if I'm not, if it's not too late. And, you know, if it is, I understand, because you know, I've been pretty, you know, pretty bad. And so as I was praying, I closed my eyes at one point, and just after I prayed this, I saw a picture of my heart, and it opened up. Sounds really cheesy, but this is what I saw. I saw tons and tons and tons and tons of sparkle dust. So much, pour into my heart. And I just knew, like, you know when you're dreaming, and you just know that you know something, but you don't know how? I knew that it was love. And so much poured in that not even one more speck, you know, those tiny little specks out of this rock, not one more speck could fit in. So my heart filled with love, and then it closed, and then it turned bright, bright, bright white, like I had been completely purified and completely cleansed. And I could feel something wash over me, and I just started weeping and weeping. Every hair on my body was standing on it, and I was by myself, and I could feel this presence. And I was like, oh my God, you're real. Oh my God, you're real. And I kept repeating this by myself. Oh my God, you're real. Oh my God, you're real. Oh my God. And I was weeping and crying. Like, he was forgiving me. I was clean, and he was real, and he, you know, he loved me. And I was excited and all these mixed emotions all at once. And I remember I reached into the drawer beside me, and I grabbed out a Bible, and it was a King James version, I believe, and I opened it up, and it was like, wherewithal, not thou shalt not. And I was like, oh my God, you're gonna have to teach me to speak your language, because I don't understand. So that
was James' language, it wasn't God's.
Yeah.
King James,
So I didn't know there was different versions of, you know, the English Bible. So I put it back in the drawer, and I raced to the phone, and I called John, and I said, John, you're never gonna believe this. He said, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? I said, okay, God is real. And he said,
Really?
yeah. He said, yeah? What happened? I said, no. I don't think you understand. I don't think you know. I mean, I know you've talked about God and stuff, but God is real. And he was like, I know. What happened? And so I told him what happened. I told him what I prayed, and it's like, that's amazing. And I told him about the Bible, and he started laughing. He said, I'll bring you a Bible that you can understand. And so he came. I said, I'll be right there. So he came right over, and he prayed with me, and he gave me a Bible, and I just from there. And I remember saying in the prayer, God, you know, if I follow you and I have you live my life, I know you don't like drugs and alcohol, and I really like my drugs and alcohol, so you better be better than drugs and alcohol, because I don't want to give it up if you're not better. And like, so yeah, and I was like talking to God this way. It's just so like,
I think he loves it when we talk to him.
So
that way.
raw
Yeah.
and so real,
He
and
knows
so
you, so he knows those things, right?
yeah.
We don't
So
need
did he
to
come
have.
through better
Oh my
than
gosh,
the drugs and
yes.
alcohol?
So much better. So
And was
much
it over?
better.
Was it overnight? Like no more drugs and alcohol?
No,
or
yeah,
time?
right away. Like for about a week straight, I was on this like high, like on God. I just no drugs, no alcohol. It was just. It was the most amazing high I'd ever been on in my life.
Well,
yeah.
Pattie, when we were talking in the green room, you were sharing a
Yeah.
bit more. And I mean, that's an amazing encounter that you had with God. And I think all of our journeys begin with an encounter with God. But it is a journey, and journeys change.
Definitely.
And you said that afterwards you fell away for a while. And
I did.
I say this because I want to encourage people out there that you may have had one of those incredible encounters, and then you think, well, now I blew it because I've kind of gone away, veered off course again, and so therefore that was my one chance. And that's not true. Can you just share a bit about what happened afterwards?
I can, yes. I about 6 to 8 months after my initial experience with God, and you know, reading the Bible and going to church and experiencing different things, I hooked up with some older friends, people that I hung out with, did partying and with and stuff, and I ended up starting to get back into drugs and alcohol and the old life, and started going to church a little bit less and a little bit less, and I ended up pregnant. And I thought, oh my gosh, I took my life back into my own hands, and I'm all by myself, and I'm pregnant.